Okay, and let me share the screen. So any doubts, any issues as of now? Right. So in case everyone can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, so in our last class, we have discussed about the Management Studio, SQL Server Management Studio. What is SQL Server Management Studio? How can we open SQL Server Management Studio? What are the challenges? What are the shortcuts? Okay, everything we have discussed in the last session, right? So we'll try to run some commands today. We'll try to create some of the objects like databases, tables, columns. We'll try to insert the data. Okay, and okay, we'll try to insert the data and we'll discuss in case of any challenges. Okay, right? As of now, everything is clear, right? No issues, no doubts, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Let me start the virtual machine. Right. Okay. So control plus delete. You can close this notifications. Okay. Password and check your IP address. Okay, that's I'm going to early.
Venkat Garu, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Is it just started? Because I just
No,
logged
no,
in.
no, 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 not yet started.
Oh, because I pinged you on WhatsApp. Because
Okay. So usually the class will start by 7:35. Okay, sharp. Right. Okay. Let me open the Management Studio. I can open Management Studio using SSM. Okay. The shortcut for
recording permission.
yes, yes, yes. Let me give you the permissions. Okay. Right. Okay. So we can open Management Studio. Okay, we can open Management Studio using SSMS or SSM. Okay, for SQL Server versions 20 up to 2014. You can use SSM in the Windows. Okay, menu. Okay, in the Windows menu you have to type SSM so that you can service how many shares.
Specific and two shared.
Okay, so can you tell me the specific services names?
Can't remember.
Okay, can you tell me specific services names? Two servicing.
There was some
Database
right.
engines, SQL
Data.
Server Agent.
Very good. Database engine, SQL Server agent, and full
Yeah,
text. Okay.
SS is
Yeah.
full text.
Not
Right.
okay. That's fine. That's fine. Those are also specific services only. Main database engine service, agent service, full text service, and CEIP service for from 2017 onwards. Okay. In case if you install analysis services and reporting services, also specific services. These services we can call as instance aware services. Okay. Yesterday we have discussed it, right? Specific services, what are the specific services are there? Those services usually in the entry you will get a question like what are instance aware services. Specific services we can also call as instance aware services. Okay, shared services we can also call as instance unaware services. Okay, specific services, okay, we can call as instance aware services. Okay, shared services we can call as instance unaware services. Okay, so remember this terminology. Sometimes you'll get the questions like this also. What is meant by instance aware services, instance unaware services? Simply they are asking what are the specific services and what are the shared services. That's it. Okay, right, clear? And let me connect to my yeah, I just connected to my management studio. So yesterday we have discussed 2-3 shortcuts. How to open a new query window. What are the ways to open new query window?
New query.
Just the top new query,
Very good.
Control plus N.
Okay, very good. Control plus N.
right click,
Right click new
right
query.
click.
Excellent. Okay. So what is
Right
the
click instance and new query.
yes, very good. So what is the main thing to consider while writing the queries or while running the queries? What is the very important thing to consider while running the queries?
You have to select the query
Instance,
that
select the instance,
in the database.
Yes, very
particular
good.
instance.
Yes. So the main important thing is database. Make sure on which database you are running the query. Make sure on which database you are running the query. In case if it is select statement, not an issue. Select statement simply it will throw an error. But imagine create statement. You have to customer is asking you to create a table in the some sales database, but you have selected master database here. By default all queries will run on master database, right? But unfortunately master database is selected here. Okay, then simply you just execute the query. The object will be created in the master database. So again and again I'm saying very important thing, just make sure before clicking on the execute button, okay, just cross check 1-2 times on which database I'm executing the query. Very important. Even experienced people also will do the mistakes sometimes. Okay, they will forget on which database they're executing query. So again and again I'm saying don't run the queries. So who is drawing on my screen? Pavan, please do Control Z. Yes, okay, fine. Okay, so you have to make sure, you have to check on which database you're executing the queries. Select queries, it don't give any impact and all. Why? Because select query simply it will give you the result in case if the object is existed. Insert queries also it will throw the error. Why? Because insert queries usually they are going to insert if the object is existed. But create queries in case customer is asking you to select one database, but sometimes customers will be like they don't mention the database name and all in the tickets. It is our responsibility. We have to ping them, we have to ask them, we have to tell him like please update the database name in the ticket. So it is our responsibility. So make sure again and again while running the queries you have to select the proper specific database to run the queries. Okay, right. So let me quickly create a new database today. Okay, so I'll tell you the hierarchy of the SQL server. Okay, logical hierarchy, physical hierarchy we'll discuss. Okay, so let me open one diagram. Just one minute, please. I have to check in which folder. Demo. Okay, that's fine. I'll show you later. Okay, might be we have to copy that files from another laptop. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me discuss in this way. Okay, right. So in the Windows server, okay, we'll have SQL instance, SQL server, right? SQL server, SQL instance. In SQL server, we will have databases. Okay, in SQL server, we'll have databases. In databases, you will have data files and log file, data files and log file. Okay, in Windows server, you will have SQL server, SQL server or SQL servers. In each SQL server, you will have databases. In each database, you will have data files and log file. Okay, in data files, again in data files, okay, you will have, okay, file groups, okay. Actually, in databases you will have file groups. Okay, here you can see. Okay, in databases you will have file groups. In file groups you will have data files. Okay, forget about this log file as of now. Log file doesn't belong to any file group. Okay, in databases you will have file groups. In file groups you will have data files. In data files you will have extents. I'll tell you what is meant by extent. Okay, in extent you will have pages. In extent you will have pages. Okay, so remember one thing. Okay, this is the physical hierarchy of the SQL server. Okay, this is the physical hierarchy of the SQL server. In Windows server you will have SQL server. In SQL server you will have databases. In databases you will have file groups. In file groups you will have data files. In data files you will have extents. In extents you will have pages. Don't worry, we'll discuss each and every component throughout our course. Okay, I'll also explain what is meant by page, how to see the pages. Okay, everything we are going to discuss about the internals of the SQL servers also. Again, this is the data file architecture. Log file architecture is also different. Okay, usually if you go inside the log file, in log file you will have VLFs means virtual log files. In VLFs we'll have log blocks. In log blocks we'll have log records. Okay, so forget about it as of now. So now I'm going to create a database, right? Just to understand the file groups and all, to understand the files and all, we just design the hierarchy like this. Okay, this is the Microsoft architecture, SQL server architecture. Okay, we cannot change this architecture. In SQL server we'll have databases. In databases you will have file groups. In file groups you will have data files. Okay, as of now, just this is fine for today's class. This is fine. Okay, in databases you will have file groups, and in file groups you will have data files. Okay, now let me create a database. Database is a collection of data files and log files. Okay, database is a collection of data files and log files. Log files, usually you can go with log files, plural. Most of the databases will have a log file only. Multiple data files you can have, but only a single log file you will have. Okay, I'll tell you how log file will work, what is the usage of the log file and all. This is the physical hierarchy, guys. Okay, this is the physical hierarchy. Okay, this is the physical hierarchy. What is logical hierarchy? Again, in Windows server you'll have SQL server. In SQL server you will have databases. In databases you will have schemas. In schemas you will have tables. In tables you have rows and columns. Okay, so this is the logical hierarchy. This is the physical hierarchy. Okay, this is the physical hierarchy, and this is your logical hierarchy. Okay, in each database you can find the schemas and all. In schema is simply a container. Okay, collection of tables, we can call it as a schema. That's it. Okay, in the schemas you'll have default schemas like DBO is the default schema, information is a default schema, and also we'll have different default schemas. Usually we won't create schemas, but sometimes developers ask us to create schemas. In such case, developers will give you some script. We have to simply execute the script. Sometimes you will get a requirement deployment tasks. What is meant by deployment task? Nothing but developers will give you. Developers usually don't have permissions to execute that script. Developers will raise a request for you. They are going to ask us to execute the script. Simply we have to execute the script, but make sure on which database. In case if they don't provide the database name, ask them clearly on which database I have to execute. Okay, sometimes they are going to provide you 5 scripts and 10 scripts. Ask them clearly in which order I have to execute these scripts. In case you got multiple scripts, you have to execute those scripts in a sequential order. Sometimes they will clearly mention 1 2 3 4 5 like that. You can simply execute as per the serial numbers. Sometimes they will tell you, okay, this is the first script you have to execute, this is the next script you have to execute. Remember, in case if they give only one script, the main thing you have to consider is check whether the database name is mentioned in the script or not. In case if the database name is not mentioned in the script, how to find out whether the database name is mentioned in the script or not? Simply in the beginning of the script, you will see this query. Okay, use something like sales. Imagine sales database is there. Yesterday we have discussed, right, to change the connection we are going to use, right? Or else sometimes you'll see like this also, select star from, okay, master dot database name, master dot dbo dot employee, something like that. Okay, employee. So this is also fine. Select or insert anything, select, insert, update, delete, anything. Either you can see this one, database name, schema name, or table name and table name. Okay, or else if you mention like this also, this is fine. At least this or this, anything should be there in the beginning of the script. In the beginning of the script, anything should be there. If they don't mention the database, then you have to open the script and you have to check on which database I have to execute. In case if they mention the database name like this or like this, you can directly execute the script. Automatically the script will change the database name. In case if they don't mention any of these two, then you have to ask on which database I have to execute the script. Then they will let us know, so that on what database we have to execute the script and all. We have to simply select the database and you have to simply execute the particular script and all, right? So let me quickly create a database. We can create any object in two ways. One is GUI mode, graphical user interface mode. Second thing is query mode. Okay, first thing is graphical user interface mode, second thing is query mode. So let me quickly show you how to create a database using GUI mode. Okay, if you go to the server, okay, always remember guys, whenever you are doing anything, try to refresh it. Refresh again, refresh is also one query. If you expand the database, that is also one query. If you expand the security, if you expand any objects in the backend, one query will run. Okay, so don't think like, to expand also you should have permissions. Okay, sysadmins can usually do these kind of activities. Okay, to expand the objects also you should have permissions. Okay, in case you don't have permissions, you will get an error. Okay, right. Let me quickly create a database. How to create a database? Expand the database, or you can see the database folder, right? Right click on it, select new database. Okay, right click on it, select new database. Then you can see, okay, just 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute. Okay, so right, fine. Okay, so now I want to create a database. Imagine I want to create a sales database. Okay, here you have to provide the database name, sales. Okay, I told you, right, just now we have discussed database is a collection of data file and log file. Please mute it in case you don't have questions, please. Right, okay, I just muted you all. Okay, in case of any questions, let me know. Okay, right, you can unmute and you can ask the questions, no issue. Okay, right, so Here you have to provide the database name. This is the first thing, database name. Okay, I told you, right? Just now we have discussed the database is a collection of data files and log file. Okay, by default, by default, if you create a database, two files will be created. One is data file, second one is log file. This is common, this is fixed. Whenever you create any database, two files will be created, one data file and one log file. You can see here. See here, if I remove the name, you can see the logical name also will be removed. Okay, instead of sales, if I just type employee, see here the change. Okay, employee. Okay, you can see this is the data file name and this is the log file name. Okay, this is the data file name and this is the log file name. Whenever you create any database, one data file will be created and one log file will be created. Okay, owner will be, usually the owner is SA. Okay, SA means a sysadmin. Okay, you can see the SA login. SA is nothing but a login. Okay, a system admin login, a default login which you will get at the time of installation. You cannot delete SA login. Okay, that login you will get by default while doing the installation and all. Okay, right? So SA is a sysadmin. By default, is a sysadmin. Okay, so remember guys, for all objects we'll mention SA as a login. In case if I don't mention SA as a login, okay, who is creating the database? Okay, that name will act as a owner of the object. Object means a database, object means a job, object means other things also, right? We have stored procs and all things we are going to call it as an object only. In case if I just click OK, you can see the owner, right? Default means what? Who is creating the database? He is going to act as a owner. Remember, in the organization we cannot entertain keeping the individual names as a database owners. What is the impact if I keep my name as a database owner? If I keep your name as a database owner, what is the impact? Can anyone tell me what is the impact in case if I put your name as a database owner or if I put my name as a database owner or
The
an object
database
owner?
would be correct. Yeah, it would. The database would be corrected under different names,
Mhm.
but we just want them to, if we are working somewhere, if we want all the data to come under one name, so it should have to, the name should have to be same.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So here it won't act like that. The main problem is, okay, today I'm working in this organization, some XYZ company. Okay. So if I just keep my name, I just created a database in that company. So the owner name will be Shanmukh. Okay. So imagine I just change my company from IBM to some other company. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? Okay. So my account will be deleted from the IBM company, right? My user account will be deleted from the IBM company. So that impact the objects. In case if your account is removed from the company, as your account is acting as a owner of the object and your account is deleted, that will impact the object performance. Is it clear? So that's why we won't entertain keeping individual usernames as a owners.
And did you create that SA account, or it was there
No, it was
by
there. While
default?
yeah, after
By
installation,
default.
by default you will get after installation. Okay, you won't create.
And,
Usually we won't
okay,
create SA login. Yeah,
right. You don't have to put passwords or anything like that for SA
I'll
account.
show you. I'll show you while discussing the security. I'll show you how to assign password to SA. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So as of now, SA will come along with the installation. No need to create SA login. SA is the sysadmin for all the objects. SA is the owner. For databases, for jobs, for all objects, whenever you see owner, SA should be the owner. Why? Because in case if you leave from the organization, your account will be removed from the logins list. Okay, but SA is a permanent login. This SA login cannot be removed. So the owners always should be permanent logins. It cannot be a temporary logins. So that's why always owners will be SA only. Okay, sometimes people, they are going to simply create the database, they don't change the owner and all. But in case if you don't change the owner also, what it will do, it will simply see here, if I click OK now, what I'll get, I'll get a login name. With which login I am working now? With administrator, right? Now in case if I click OK, okay, without changing the database owner, okay, what happened? Nothing will happen. It will be successfully created. But the problem is, in the future, maybe this account may be removed or deleted from the logins list, so that it will impact the performance of the object, right? So that's why we won't keep individual users as a owners of the objects. We are going to keep SA as a owners of objects. Any object like databases, jobs and all, SA should be the owner. And again, very important thing, for jobs, sometimes jobs will be failed. What is the reason? The owner account will be removed, the owner is not found. So that's why usually we will have, okay, just 1 minute guys, just 1 minute. Right, okay. So that's why we are going to change the owners of any object like databases and jobs. Any objects, we are going to change the owners from, okay, default to SA. So sometimes jobs will be failed. You know the reason? The same reason, the owner will be removed from the logins list, okay, but still owner is the old account only. The account is not existed, so the jobs will be failed. Very simple solution. Okay, you have to simply change the job owner from the individual account to the SA. Now I'll keep it default. I'll show you how to change it after creation. Okay, right. Now let me discuss these things. Once you just type the database name, you can see the data file name and log file name. Let me expand this thing. Okay, so this is the logical name. Okay, this is how the data will be stored in the master database. This is the name of the logical file. Okay, and you can see the file type as rows data. Rows data means data file. Okay, log means log file. I told you, right, files cannot exist individually. Independently they cannot exist. They have to be created on a file group. Okay, files cannot exist, especially data files cannot exist independently. They can be created only on file group. So that's why by default data files will be created on primary file group. Whenever you create a database, by default we will get one file group called primary file group. Okay, the meeting is going to close now. Let me reopen the meeting. Okay.